All right, this is KD5INM, and uh, this is our show on Paltalk. And well, this week I didn't have a new video. I had a new video last week where we had a little package in the mail. I got a little package in the mail, and it was 48 LED panel lights, and I bought 10 of those just to try out to install in the travel trailer. And uh, we got those installed, and you see on the video, if you haven't already seen the video, I got those installed, and they had they were set up for three different kinds of light bulb bases. They're actually automotive, and uh, they were set up for three different kinds of bases. Well, the light bulb base that was in the travel trailer, is a 11 or a 1411 base, and the ones that were there were not the right size, so we ended up using the ones that have the little plastic snap-ins with the little wires. So what I did is I just pulled the wires out of the plastic and soldered those in place. I soldered it to the switch and then grounded one end of it, and then was able to plug the panels in, and then they have a double back sticky tape on them, and you just stick them up inside the the fixture, and basically it gave me an extra plug-in spot where I could either run. It left the bases and everything for the old bulbs still intact, everything working. I just took those out, and now I'm able to plug in the little panels. If I have a problem with one, then they're easy to replace. You just unplug them, pull them out of there, put a new one in there, stick it up in there, and plug it in, and there you are. And it's just wired to the same switch that the other lights are uh, are plugged into.
Well, I guess that was his intro. Let's go to the questions.
Go ahead, Leaper.
No questions for KD?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeep. Go ahead, Jeep.
Yeah, KD, real quick, if you could put the link for those lights in your up here in the chat or whatever. I know, like Seed said, he already ordered some, but I wanted to bookmark them myself, get them from the same supplier you did, because, like you said, you didn't have any issue with them. And if you could put that link from that same supplier, because I'm interested in them too, and maybe some other people might be also.
Okay, yeah, give me 1 sec for you. Just 1 second here. I just have to go to my eBay and pull up the page and everything. I'll be 1 second here. Okay, there's that. There's the link there to the eBay auction that I bought the little panels, and they were $19.99 for 10 of them. So that's comes out to $1.99 a piece, and it's from a U.S. Seller in.
Nah, they're just being quiet. I guess you're up, Seeds.
Yeah, even though I have ordered 5 of them, I didn't take notice, even though I've got 24 and 12 volt system. Are they compatible for 12 and 24 KD, or are they simply just 12 volt? I haven't checked.
Seeds, I don't know, like I said, if KD's hearing you or whatever. The 30 of them that I got, I bought on 2 different links. Mine was only 12. I didn't see any of them for 24.
It doesn't matter to me. I was just curious to let other people know because, like I say, I can flick a switch and have 24 or 12. But that's pretty clear. They're all 12 volt for most people that are interested in them. Yeah, you can make them 24, but I like to keep things easy, Duke.
Oh, I know what's going on with KD.
Okay, you can let the rest of us know if you like, Letha.
Yeah, I got KD got kicked. The server went into I guess maintenance mode or something, and it kicked me. So I was trying to get it back on the other computer, but John was on his little laptop, so I came in his room and I'm on it now.
It's just one of those days.
Yeah. Are we still recording?
Yeah, yeah, we're still rolling. Anyone some more questions for you?
Yeah, go ahead, Seeds.
Thank you, Little John. No, KD, I've asked this before, and it's because I'm always keen as mustard to do what I ask you to do, and that is, when will you be out on the property? It's just one of those things. I know that when you're at the place, you'll spend 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night doing stuff because you can. Have you got any idea when that will happen?
At this point, I don't know. I've got some other things going on that I've got to take care of that I've been working on, and right now it's kind of up in the air as far as the money and stuff. So we're working on that. I've I'm not sure whether the trailer. I'm not sure whether right now with the way it is, I need to finish that work that's done on that. But we are still planning on going out there, and we've got another little job we've got to work on this roof. We've got to get to that part of it on the roof of the house out in the country. So that's going to be something that's coming up. We've got everything, I think, pretty much in place to do that, but I've got to build a ladder or a platform of some kind to be able to get up there on the roof to be able to get to that. Go ahead, Seeds.
Yeah, the obvious reason why I'm asking is that there is an urgency this time of the year, even in Texas. It's going to get really cold shortly. So it's one of those things, if it was me, I'd be thinking, maybe I'll go after spring, or maybe I'd concentrate on a room in the house and the toilet and move into there. But it's that time of the year that it's pretty tough. I mean, you're talking about maybe a month from now, you'll be digging a foot of snow out.
Yeah, I, I would be. Usually we don't have snow that often here. We do have some snow. A couple years ago, it did snow enough to where you wouldn't want to get out on the roads and drive around. Uh, we have freeze. It does freeze here. So I mean, there's times when it freezes, uh, and that's why I'm concerned with the trailer because it's not winterized exactly. I don't know whether this I don't know whether the lines would freeze in it because I didn't have water in them last year. This year, here soon, within the next day or two, we're gonna double check the water heater on the trailer and probably empty the lines in it. But there was a little bit of water I checked the other day, and it was probably about I think the tank is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40, 45 gallons, maybe 50-gallon tank, and there was probably 2 or 3 inches of water still in it. So I know we've got to get the lines and all that emptied. We've had some cold weather here down in the 30s, which was 32 degrees is freezing, but it's been like 39 is about the lowest it's gotten. So it hasn't frozen yet, and I went in the trailer the other day. It wasn't that cold in there, so I'm not real familiar with. I've only had this trailer about a year, and so I'm not sure whether the how cold it would get if the lines would get cold enough to freeze in there, because it's got PEX. And when I got the trailer and first hooked the water up to it, it did have a line that had popped loose and it was leaking. And I was able to slip the fittings and everything back on it and slip the little metal retainer on there and put everything back together and tighten it back up, and it worked just fine. So it may just pop loose if it freezes. Sometimes those lines expand. You just have to worry about them getting so thin that they break. But I really don't want it to freeze. So go ahead, dive crew. Oh, there's usually we're here on here. There's somebody here just about every day. But anyhow, getting back to what I was saying, I'm not sure exactly when we're going to be out there. I have been looking at and shopping for a fireplace or a stove. I want to put in a stove out there, and I was thinking about that as far as like being able to heat the place, and that way it wouldn't be dependent on anything other than us just bringing firewood. And there's already firewood out there. The people that were out there before had quite a bit of firewood out there. It's already dry and ready to go. I was just thinking about shopping around for a stove and trying to make up my mind whether I want to get one that's like a sealed, where, because they have two different kinds. They have two different kinds of stoves. They have a cast iron stove, and then they have the steel stoves, which are made out of steel plate and they're welded and they're lined with fire bricks. Generally the steel stoves have a seal and a gasket in the door with in it. They're able to close that up, and it has outside air that is pumped in into the where the fire is at, and it's a box that you heat that up, and then the heat comes off of that. So with the cast iron stoves, it's a lot thicker metal, it's more bulk, but those are more open to the actual air, so smoke can actually come out of those if you cracks and seams and stuff of it, I'm kind of trying to think about this, think this through about whether I want to get one of those sealed stoves or the cast iron, because then they say with the ones that are sealed and it has the outside air coming in into the burning chamber, that it doesn't pull air out of your house and it doesn't allow smoke into the house. Any more questions? Go ahead, Seeds. Go ahead, Leaper.
Yeah, KD. My question is, the heating is a choice, of course, and it doesn't really matter. It comes down to cost. But I don't think I've asked this question before. What insulation does the old house actually have, or doesn't have any? Just curious about the insulation part of the old house.
It's probably I think it's insulated fairly well, except for some of the places where the wood on the outside is. It has fiberglass insulation in it. As near as I can tell, most everything that I've seen, it was fiberglass. So the house inside, when you're inside of it, you can actually tell a difference between the inside and the outside. I mean, the house is pretty well sealed and pretty well insulated. I think it's insulated better than my house here in town, as far as the walls and all that. But I think it would do all right with with even a minimum heating, like even a smaller heater, or fireplace stove. Go ahead, Leaper. Oh well, you pull air out of the house and you get your chimney to drafting, and it moves pretty good. You're also sucking the heat out of the house too. So I mean, the heat that you put into the air into the house, it pulls air from inside your house out, and so generally you want to when you're running a fireplace, it's kind of good to have one little spot of the house kind of drafty, to where you can allow cold air to come in, so you don't build up like carbon dioxide and things like that get into the air. You want it to draft and go out, but you're also circulating air in and out. Whereas if you have a separate air feed into the stove, then you're not pulling your warm air and stuff from in the house out. You're just, it's kind of like separating the two different. It's like two different chambers. It's like a heat exchanger almost, where you've got like say heated water going in one end, and then you have other heated water or water that you want to heat inside of another vessel of it, and so you're able to heat the inside of the house separately from your fire and everything. It's just, I've read that it's better. I mean, the stove that we had when I was growing up as a kid out in the country, it was an old Franklin fireplace, and it was cast iron, and yeah, it did draw some air in and stuff, but we cranked that thing up. We put enough mesquite wood, and mesquite wood burns, is kind of a hardwood, and it burns a little bit hotter. We cranked that thing up, so it didn't really make any difference, but still, I noticed that it would draw. If we had it going pretty good, it would put a pretty good draw in there. You could feel the air and stuff moving in the fireplace. So I'm just thinking that maybe I don't want to. I'm looking at it from a point of view of, I've lived with this before. I've lived in a house for years that had the old Franklin fireplace. Do I want to do that, something like that, or do I want to do a sealed box, with the fire brick and stuff in it? Any more questions?
Alrighty, I guess that's gonna go ahead and do your wrap up.
Well, yeah, this next week, hopefully this next week we'll have some more video, and I think John has got something planned or something. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but stay tuned. It's KD5INM.